Small Town Minds.
Hello, everybody. Hey, welcome back. If you joined us last week, Braden was talking about capitulation versus copulation. I think that was right. Wasn't that right? No, that wasn't right. Was it? Wait, it's been a little while since we did this. Braden?
Yes.
How long? What? It's been, how long?
We've had, I'm fairly certain, a global pandemic, 2 elections. I've had 2 kids.
Okay.
It's been a little bit.
So if you're just joining us, we did a little podcast a few years ago called Parts of Art with Mike and Braden. And now we're back with the sequel. Tell us about the sequel rules, Braden.
So, yeah, I definitely want to keep with entertainment, but we live in a much different world now than we did 6, 7 years ago. So entertainment is affected by that. So I figure we'll venture off into a few different directions, but still kind of the shooting off point being entertainment and art.
Sure. Mm-hmm. Sure. That's part of it. Who's this other guy?
Well, with any reboot, you got to introduce new characters. So
new characters, yes. Who is the new character we got here?
And I guess I am definitely a character. It's good to be with you guys. I cannot tell you the last time I remember us 3 having a conversation, but I would venture to bet it's been 14, 15 years. So it's very
I'm trying to think. I don't even know when that would be. Honestly.
I think it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been quite a while. Yeah.
And getting to speak with you guys again.
Absolutely. And we'll say happy birthday to you. You had a birthday just recently. Whenever these people listen to this, we don't know. But you had a birthday here, so happy birthday, Matt.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. All right, Braden, this is your dream child, so I'm going to let you kick it off. What do we got to talk about?
Well, first, before we kind of get off into the meat of the matter, I did want to say, it is really good to be just talking to you guys. So I texted you the other day, Mike, and I'm like, we were going back and forth, and it kind of delved off into bringing this back. And one of the reasons I wanted to start doing this again is I feel like I've been kind of spinning my wheels a little bit. I've got all this stuff circling around. I randomly text, but just really connecting with my friends again. Obviously with, like I mentioned, had 2 kids, 2 beautiful little girls. Not a lot of time, as I'm sure you both know.
Oh, yeah.
So
sounds familiar.
I was like, man, this would be really cool. And Matt, I thought of you. I've always respected, your knowledge of really anything. And I'm like, man, a third would really make this cool in the video format and everything. So, yeah,
I'll try not to self-deprecate all over that. Thank you. I appreciate the compliment.
Yeah, no, man. I thought the 3 of us, somebody out there, maybe in Zimbabwe or something, will stumble across it and really dig what we have to talk about. So,
and they'll say, "Oh, Small Town Minds. Oh, that sounds just like me and my friends. I don't know what deal with this is about. I'm going to listen." So, Small Town Minds, we're all from the same small town. Super duper, ooper duper small town in Tennessee. It's where we grew up and everything. So that's kind of, our formative years have definitely shaped us in different ways. But I wouldn't say we're typical necessarily of the town. Probably people will maybe find that out a little bit more as they listen. But yeah. So what do you got, man? What do you got? Hit me with something.
So, yeah. Recently, I think as we're recording this, it has switched back, but there's been a little bit of a controversy. Cracker Barrel.
Yeah. Okay.
wanted to
Yeah.
change their logo. So
Yeah.
I think, as I said, as of yesterday or Thursday, they switched it back due to controversy. So that kind of made me think, like, not just that. There's also been like the Paramount stuff, right? There's a little bit of controversy
Mm-hmm.
with how the Paramount deal went down. Entertainment and art.
Oh
Where I'm
yeah.
going with this is
Mm-hmm.
kind of affected by a little bit of the politics in the air, if you will. And
Yeah.
I'll start with the Cracker Barrel. I mean, what was even the controversy? Am I missing something? Like, what?
What
Why?
a
Why were people mad?
what a bunch of fucking pussies. Um. Why were people mad? Who knows? People are mad about every fucking thing now? But why were people mad? Obviously, they thought the rebranding was something to do with their anti-politics, going against what they're obviously the traditional values of it. Even though apparently, uh, apparently the first logo for Cracker Barrel was just the name. It wasn't the barrel and the guy. So they were. I mean, it didn't look like the new one, and the new one did kind of look like shit. Whatever. I didn't care. But at the same time, like it was kind of going back to the original in a way with just that simplicity, I guess. And it was a whole thing of they were, I guess, reformatting like the inside of the restaurants too, or that was the goal. And people were like, "Oh my God, our last beacon of tradition."
Well,
Kind of.
people are adverse to change.
Well, sure.
Nobody wants to change what makes them comfortable, and
Well,
for some
sure.
reason, they're putting their head on that. I mean, there, there's a ton of other things that we should be uproaring against, and the Cracker Barrel changing their logo, I
Yeah.
don't feel personally was the stake we should be standing on if that's the case.
Yeah. And this is the world that we live in, where any little thing like that is like the most disruptive thing of the day, and headlines for days, kind of a deal. And you get so much uproar from groups, and people are so clustered into groups these days, and it's like, oh well, I'm never going to eat there again, and neither is any of my people. Oh, and so, and there you go, and there you have it. You have boycotts and blah blah blah. If you don't change it back, when you get to where the president is suggesting that you go back to the logo, it's like, what? Really? It's pretty fucking sad.
On the flip side of that, to play devil's advocate a little bit, when's the last time you had even thought about Cracker Barrel?
Oh, I don't like Cracker Barrel.
The publicity ploy.
Uh,
Their name is out there. People are going to go eat Cracker Barrel.
I don't know, man. See, I don't know. I don't know. I see. Now, if this was 20, 30 years ago, I would say yes. Because, the old adage, any publicity is good publicity. I don't really think that's true anymore, man. Look at Bud Light. I mean, I just think that, they switched it back because they were definitely afraid that they were going to get some backlash that they did not want. So, I mean, sure, it got them in the conversation, but look, Cracker Barrel sucks anyway, so who cares?
I kind of like those gravy and biscuits, man.
All right, man. All right.
I'm a gravy and biscuits guy, obviously.
All right.
Probably why I'm just as round as tall anymore.
So
What do you think, Brad?
I lean in the direction of it was a little bit of a publicity stunt, but you touch on a good point that we live in an odd time where uh, everybody's walking on eggshells. So that kind of brings me to the Paramount stuff and Colbert and 60 Minutes and
Yeah.
It's a very, very odd time where you can't, to your point, any publicity is good publicity is not necessarily the case. So, yeah, The Paramount stuff is a weird one. What do you guys think? I mean, was Colbert, was it failing ratings? Was it costing too much? Or
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, obviously, I don't know the numbers, but
yeah,
the reality is they're changing hands. The guard is changing anyway. When they do, they always shake things up.
yeah,
But he said some things that they didn't like, and I think that they canned him for it. That's what I think. I mean, could there be more behind it that we don't really know? Sure, of course, but that seems like it. Because look, I mean, that's been such a staple for so many years. I mean, how could it be such a costly thing, a vehicle? Why
yeah,
wouldn't it? Why wouldn't it have been canned before? And look at all the other ones that have, that are still around. I mean, have ratings dropped? I'm sure they have. I mean, ratings have dropped in everything mostly. People are just on TikTok. So,
yeah,
but at the same time, I mean, I feel like you saw him. There was always clips and stuff of his show. I don't feel like he was like out of the conversation, So yeah, it seems more like, again, a bunch of pussies just like, oh well, let's just. I mean, they gave in and gave him money,
yeah,
and anybody who spoke up against that is going to get canned, except for South Park, because they did the smart move and made the deal before they started ragging on him,
yeah,
you know. But I mean, look at the Daily Show. The Daily Show's. I mean, I don't think it's up in the air, but I don't know. It's been off for a while. I know they're off. I know they're on vacation, but it's like, are they coming back?
yeah, yeah,
Makes you wonder.
It makes you wonder. It makes you wonder, and that sort of silencing of thought and idea is very fucking scary.
yeah. It is. It is.
Yeah. South Park obviously is killing it with their episodes. But they're so drawn out. I keep waiting for one to pop up, and it takes two to 3 weeks for a new one. But I think they're going to be fun because, again, they've already did their deal. But who knows? You never know.
Yeah. No, and it's an odd day and time. Like you said, it's almost, not to be hyperbolic, but it's like you said, venturing into the silencing of the wrong idea, the wrong thought.
Yeah.
I know you mentioned you wanted to talk about Sydney Sweeney, which kind
Sydney
of,
Sweeney.
yeah,
Yeah. It's just, it falls right in with all this kind of a deal. You got this actress, beautiful girl, mediocre actress, probably, I guess you would say, for the most part. But it's like she does an ad. It's an ad, and I can, maybe it's a Mandela effect, but I can swear that I've heard that line like 3 or 4 times in ads over the years. And could I be wrong? Maybe, I don't know, but there's been such a backlash, it's still continually happening, to this poor girl who just basically made some money doing an ad. I feel kind of bad for her because it's like, it's just a fucking ad at the end of the day. Now, and then, again, it's the world that we live in, where people get on your bad side and they will incur your wrath. And there's so many people saying they'll never watch a movie of hers again, and all this stuff. We'll never buy those pants. Now, could this be another publicity stunt? Maybe. I mean, it did help them, obviously, eventually, at the beginning. I don't know if it will in the long run, but and then there's people are saying, "Oh, now look at Sydney Sweeney's movies. Now they're bombing." I mean, are there people that probably boycott them? Probably, because that's how people are. But I mean, you look at the movies though. It's like the one was kind of supposed to be kind of like a Western or something. I'm like, I don't know if people understand this now, but Westerns aren't really doing that well at the theater. You had the Kevin Costner one that failed. Ari Aster did one recently at Eddington or something. That one bombed. I don't really think that Westerns are doing that good, regardless of Sydney Sweeney. Obviously, they found a home like on the silver screen or on the TV screen, like with Yellowstone and stuff. But I just don't think movies is really generating it for Westerns these days. So I don't really know if you can blame her for that one. And the other one, I don't know anything about that one either, but I don't think she was even the starring vehicle of it. But they're just like, oh my god, yeah, yeah. Anyway, what do you think? I mean, do you think really she should incur all this backlash because of an ad? And do you think the ad itself? Do you think people are making more of it than it is?
Me, my personal thought is that they probably thought they had written a very crafty line to sell a
Yeah,
pair of jeans.
sure.
If I can't imagine there was malintent in the writing of the line.
Nope.
You know, that's
And I would agree. I don't. This is a case of pearl clutching. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
do I get it? The whole blonde haired, blue eyed, she has good genes. Yeah, I can draw that connection. Do I think that's what they meant? No. Like it's, and I don't think. No, I don't think she deserves the backlash. I'm not. I know who she is. Never seen a movie she's in. If that tells you anything. So,
Okay.
like, well, I take that back. What was she in Euphoria?
Yep.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Well, I've seen Euphoria, but uh, and she was in. Was she in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Yep.
Okay, well then I've
Mm-hmm.
seen that, but but my point is, she's not somebody I go like Sydney Sweeney movie. I got to watch it. She's fine, but she doesn't deserve this backlash.
Yeah. Well, but look, here's the thing. It's like, okay, well, she is who she is. I mean, like I said,
Yeah.
she's a pretty young actress. I mean, do you think? I mean, can she not celebrate herself? I mean, yes, she's blonde hair, blue eyes. Okay, so she can't ever say she has good genes. I mean, it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, again, it's not taking anything away from anybody else. It's you're drawing something. You know, you're drawing blood out of a tournament period. It just doesn't hold any weight. And for it to continue the conversation is and again, if it actually hurts her career, again, I feel like she's up and coming. I mean, I don't think she's a great actress. She's pretty mediocre, but there's definitely a chance she could get better. And she definitely is a marketing genius because she's done a lot of stuff even before this, like selling her bath water and shit. You know, so I mean, she's got it. She's got that that on the that. Right where she needs to be with advertising, but it's just kind of sad because it's like you can't say or do anything, and so if somebody takes it the wrong way, you're screwed.
Yeah. Yeah.
now suddenly I just think of Stone Temple Pilots. Take a bath, I'll drink the water that you leave.
Now that should have been on playing on the commercial, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
You should have. Absolutely. Yeah. What else you got? You got anything, Matt? Right now, you got a topic?
Guys, I guess something I've been dealing with is better than anything that I can say is just mental health. I mean, life's tough, So I mean,
Stuff. Yeah.
for the last 5 years, when I turned 40, I started running. I was running very avidly. I ran a marathon last November. I would have never imagined saying that I would run a marathon.
Yeah.
And then I got sick sometime in March and just haven't felt the same since. And now I'm struggling to run a mile. And it's like, it's hurt my mental state too. I felt like I was pushing forward. And of course, they talk about people doing endurance sports are probably running from trauma, but aren't we all? I mean, come on. So that's the only thing that I really have to talk about. The joys that life brings. Braden, I don't know if you know this, but I've recently became a grandfather.
Nice.
Yeah. I told him Grandpa has to go to bed early tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have all this positive stuff in my life, and I've been working on trying to learn public speech. So with all these things I'm doing for myself to try to better myself as a role model for folks, I've also lost track of my mental health. So I'm really trying to focus on getting better, like you said, talking to old friends, trying to get back to a point to where I'm there. The COVID era has put me back in an area when it comes to talking to folks that I haven't been in years. I remember being that goofy 9-year-old who didn't talk to people, So it's
Yeah. I was that you said you're looking for your mental health. That made me think of the Pixies. Where's my mind? But
yeah,
the COVID thing, I think that fucked a lot of people up. Yeah,
I think it stunned a lot of folks. I mean, 'cause
yeah,
we're not supposed to just be stuck in a home, and I know everybody's talked this one to death, so I won't go on much further. But it I think where everyone was stuck, not being around folks, a lot of us just forgot how to talk to people.
yeah. I'm like people. I don't need them.
Yeah.
Screw that. All right. Let's go on some more topics here and see what we can do. Let's get a little political for a second. One of the news stories recently was Donald Trump viral death rumors with his crazy splotchy hand. What do you think, Braden?
There was actually, I think it was trending on X this morning about Trump is dead. He doesn't
Yeah.
look well. He's
Yeah.
79. He doesn't look well. It worries me. I'm not a Trump fan, admittedly. I don't wish death upon the man. At the end of the day, he is a dad. He's someone's dad, whether we like him or not. And I don't wish death upon the man. It worries me if and when he does die, what that will do. Because I think he'll become a martyr. I think there will be conspiracy theories around it. I think it worries me on a variety of levels, given the state of the country.
Are you saying you think our country's going to go to shit if that happens?
I think it would be really, I mean, even more to shit than what it is. So,
yeah. Matt, you think?
This is where I lean into the ignorance is bliss. I just don't listen to anything anymore. So I had no clue about what you were talking about. It's nice to finally learn it. Thanks for breaking my bubble, guys.
You're like, I don't even know who the president is, man. Fuck this shit.
Yeah.
Fuck
I was pretty sure it was, never mind. I won't make the entire joke around that one. It's that guy Kurt Cobain told us was going to be president, and nobody believed.
Oh, yeah. All right.
I didn't realize he was in bad health. I also don't wish anything on him. It's a little troubling to think that he could pass. Yeah.
I mean, we just had a president who barely made it through. I feel like the presidency he was in, and that's the thing about fucking presidents being so old. Like, come on, we need some young blood up in there.
Well, I've stated several times I'll run for president if I think people will vote for me.
Okay, then
there we go.
Get in there. Is this your officially declaring your candidacy?
No shit about being president to be president. I did say that.
You don't have to know anything.
Yeah,
not a thing. Here you go. That's good.
I'll see things at a different angle. That's my catchphrase when I run.
Absolutely. Let's touch on a little bit about the shooting. There's always shootings every day, so let's talk a little bit about the Minneapolis church shooting a little bit.
So, to circle back to what Matt touched on, mental health.
Yes,
that is a big thing. I do think we have a mental health crisis. I do think some of these people that have done these things were in a bad state of mental health, very much so, and it needs to be addressed. Yeah. But at what point is it just thoughts and prayers, and we do fuck all for mental health or fuck all for any kind of gun control. And let me preface that by saying I don't know what that looks like. I don't. I'm not smart enough to say, well, we do this and that, this, that, and the third, and gun control's fixed. We got to fucking do something. Something.
Seems like we're just gonna let her ride. Let her ride. Just keep them going. Every week it's a different one, different place, different area.
Yeah.
You get all these threats everywhere. There's been threats in my county. I mean, it's just it's just going to continue to happen. I mean, because you know why? Because you have so many people that are on opposite sides that they're so unwilling to bend in any way that it's gonna. I mean, I don't see anything really happening, to be honest. So, obviously, one of the revelations was that this Robin was transgender, kind of a thing. And I get the luxury of having friends on both spectrums when it comes to politics, so I get to see all that shit from both sides. And of course, one of the things that the hard riders doing is they've got this whole list now of the shooters that were transgender or gender fluid or whatever, and they're like, oh, see, these are all people that are shooting people. Obviously, there's tons of straight people shooting people all the fucking time, but there's like a list now. They're like, see, because like the one in Nashville was as well, and all this, and it's like, okay, so, but why do we think that these people are doing this? I mean, because to me, it's just like, well, it's because they're under a microscope fucking 24/7. People can't stop fucking talking about transgender, shoving it down the throats of everybody. And if you're, it's like, okay, like if you were gay in the 80s and early 90s, I mean, yeah, you could have got your ass beat in certain places, or definitely would have gotten a lecture or sent to a conversion camp. There's, shit could have happened, but it wasn't. It was kind of a little bit in a vacuum, and now everything is just so everywhere. You can't run from it. You can't, so like you're getting this feed, and especially since the algorithms are programmed to shoot you shit that they think you want. So, if you get this in your feed, like all the time, you see yourself demonized as a monster every day, you're probably going to snap eventually. Thoughts? Anybody?
See that? I could see that.
Yeah.
Braden, what do you think?
Well, that goes back to, they want to preach the mental health aspect. What have we done to make it more accessible, more affordable, more?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. The rarity is it's very rare. Let me tell you, it's very rare. Is it a little bit better than it was 10, 20 years ago? Sure, it is. But it's still stigmatized. It's still something that people don't take as seriously as they need to, and it's still something that people aren't comfortable coming forward with. And it's also something that's hard to quantify too. That's a part of it as well, because it's like, you have a backache. Well, my back fucking hurts, but if you have like shit in your head, you don't really know exactly. I mean, just look for example, like, when I was growing up, when I was in elementary school, I had terrible social anxiety. Still do. Anyway, but when I was doing that, like, nobody knew what it was called. They just, what they said? Get over it.
Yeah. Put yourself out there.
Yeah, exactly. What the fuck's wrong with you, you weirdo?
And I had those same issues, and honestly, I won't go into my job, but I put on a mask every day, and I'm the guy. Like, hey,
sounds
everybody.
like you're a serial killer. Is that what you're doing?
Well, everybody tells me with my background in childhood that I probably am, but I have never done anything like that. I don't ever plan to. I love people. I'll just be weird and fun because, yeah, I have the ability to put on that mask and be that happy guy and and talk to people. But by the time I'm done with my shifts, a lot of times I'm talked out. I don't want to talk to anybody.
Oh yeah, I have this very grandiose thing about the which we've learned now that introverts get really drained around a lot of people, and you really have to have this sort of decompression and downtime and stuff. And I've always kind of had that, and I didn't know what it was. But it's like it's really something that you, when you're around a lot of people, like the tenseness that you feel. Sometimes you can actually literally feel it, and sometimes it's just sort of like subconscious in a way. But afterward, you're just like, oh, whew, you know, yeah,
Yep, it feels like pressure.
it does. Yep, absolutely. I mean, I've been physically sick about all this stuff. So, yeah, you got anything else to touch on with that, Braden?
Not right off. I mean, yeah, just the whole, like I said, the whole mental health thing. I wish something was done about it. I wish we could be a lot more like Star Trek and less like Gunsmoke.
Yeah, there's some, yeah.
The world is changing. Do what?
I like that analogy. That's
Yeah.
The world's changing. It's ever evolving. We got to put processes in place as it evolves. So,
Well, again, people have to get on the same page to a degree instead of being adversaries. I mean, that's the thing is there's such a. I mean, look, you went to high school. There was cliques. Now there's literal cliques in the world. So much. So back in the day, Joey and I made this concept album. It was a religion concept album. I don't know if you remember this, Matt, or not. But so what we did is we made all these songs, really rushed kind of a deal. But it was like all these songs, some of them were like kind of pro-religion. Some of them were like anti-religion. And some of them was kind of a little bit unbiased. I remember one of the things that we did a cover of Nirvana's Rape Me, but we changed it to Save Me. I don't know if you remember that or not. But anyway, but one of the highlights of this album was a song that I wrote lyrically. Of course, Joey wrote musically. It was called On the Fence. Now, granted, I wrote this about, was it 1994, I guess? Was it 1994, 95?
Yeah.
Yeah, 94, I think. So anyway, the chorus to the song goes, I'm on the fence looking over at both sides, watching them try to destroy the other. Should I see right in this? What if I resist?
Yeah.
Now, that pretty much sums up today.
Yeah.
It sums up today a lot because I really have no affiliation with any party. Not really. I mean, I kind of lean toward one, but I don't. Like, when you listen to so many different people and they're all like talking heads for their party and they sound just like a carbon cutout of the next person that's affiliated with them, you're like, everybody's just sheep, man. You know?
Well, I definitely see that.
And when that happens, then you have this one people that are saying no, and a lot of this is just about money, you know. And I feel like the invention of the 24-hour news cycle thing was detrimental to mental health because they had to have something to keep you interested in their programs. So they come up with shit, and if eyeballs weren't on there, they were going to come up with more outlandish shit, and it just becomes to where it's like one side is thinking this and the other side is thinking this, and we literally have, if perception is reality and you want to believe that, we literally have different realities in the world today.
Yeah, and everyone has a different perspective.
Yeah.
It's having teenagers help me understand that. You know, I don't know that I'd ever thought deep into the fact that everyone has their own perspective of the world. You know, the years that my kids were teenagers when that kind of dawned on me. Like, I always knew you guys had your own separate lives, you were doing your own things, but I thought we all perceived the world the same. But now I've got a better understanding about the fact that to me a red ball is a red ball. To you, it might be a purple square.
It's
you know,
purple,
because everyone has their own perception.
Right. Right. Yeah. What do you think, Braden?
No, it's well put, Matt. I mean, it is. We do live in different realities, and people do perceive things differently. And I think I've tried to, especially in the political environment, if I don't like something, I try to, well, why don't I like it? Okay, is there a valid reason? And I try not to be just irrational. And I
Are
don't
you
think
saying that you use logic, Braden?
What is
I
this logic you
I
speak of?
I attempt to.
Sorry.
No,
Okay. I love the way you state that. You attempt to. That's a great way to.
I don't think a lot of people with today's 24-hour news cycle and social media do that. They see something,
Mhm.
okay, that's how it is. That's what I believe.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, it's just another thing that if we want to get off on another tangent that I don't think is helping with that aspect of how we consume our media and news and also overall mental health is AI, because that's going to play into how we
Now,
these
now,
alternate realities, if you will.
now, listen. If you go on Messenger right now on Facebook, and you click the three little dots at the bottom, there's AI friends that you can go and click on and talk to them, and some of them are actually actor impersonations, and they'll say, "Hey, baby, how you doing? How was your day?" And some of them are like just different people, different names. One of them was like uh, 40-year-old divorcee. It's like what? One of them was a chair. You want to talk to a chair?
I
Uh,
think I have talked to a chair, but I had drunk quite a bit that night.
well, you don't have to drink at all. Just talk on your. See, this is a
Artificial imagination. That's what I have.
young people and
Alcohol.
people that are these young people and people that are very lonely. Like this is very detrimental.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I think about, when I lived in Brimstone, like
Hmm.
I really had no neighbors. There were no kids to play with.
Sure.
There's plenty of rattlesnakes and copperheads, but I could imagine that if I had Wi-Fi and an AI friend at that point in time, yeah, me and my AI friend probably would have hung out quite a bit because there was nothing else to do. We couldn't even most of the time we couldn't even pick up television channels. So
Right. But look. But I know that is funny. But look. Honestly, though, you couldn't really blame you back then because you didn't have a way to connect with anybody, really,
yeah,
other than when you came over to my house. But
oh,
listen, but today in today's world, that's really not true. I mean, you can connect to people if if there's the willingness to do it. You know what I mean? Like there are so
yeah,
many ways that you can connect to people now that you really don't need that. I don't feel like even if you're in Brimstone, you
yeah.
know,
I mean, there's plenty of ways to actually talk to people.
yeah,
It's
which is why I never did it. That's just me.
well, and I play an online game for the last year, and
Uh-huh.
I've started to figure out that I think probably a lot of the folks that I play with are potentially just AI bots.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, this is kind of wild.
Huh.
I could be completely wrong, but I'm starting to
I'm
really,
sure. Yeah, probably some of them at least. I'm sure. Yeah.
and they'll actually chat with you. Like you can chat and to have you think you have a friend, and all of a sudden you realize that it's not actually somebody. It's,
You want to hang out? Yeah. Join me, Matt. Join me.
yeah.
Join me. Yeah, that's good.
How am I sure that you guys aren't AI bots?
I don't know what you're talking about. Um, going back to what we said in the beginning about all that stuff about controversy and people losing their shit over the dumbest crap. Sabrina Carpenter's album,
Okay.
Man's Best Friend. You saw the cover of that?
Yep.
No.
It's a picture of her on her knees, and a guy is kind of like grabbing her hair. Is that right, Braden?
Yep.
And people are like, "Oh my god, this is the worst thing ever." It's just a cover.
Well, so I listened to the album.
Yeah.
Low key, she's not bad. She's not bad. My girls like a lot of her stuff, so I was kind of subjected to it. But I'm like, given the cover controversy, I was like, I'll check it out. There is a song called Tears that's basically talking about tears running down her thighs.
Okay.
There's talking about a guy growing up to be very hot, very provocative stuff, catchy stuff too. She's smart. Again, it got people talking. It got somebody who I'm on the fringe, but I'm like, I want to check out the album, given the controversy. It brilliant piece of marketing by her.
Yeah, I mean, again, I don't really feel like this one was one that should have provoked such a backlash. But I mean, I see what you're saying. Sometimes people can do these things and elicit such a thing that it will sort of help them. But how do you take the chance in knowing when and what it is? Like, I feel like with artists, maybe it's a little bit more lenient. But like, let's say with Bud Light, let's go back to Bud Light. You know, when they did that can with the transgender. Now, they probably thought this was going to maybe spark a little bit of debate, right? They had no idea it was going to do what it did, knock them off the number one slot, right?
Right.
That definitely wasn't what they were going for. So how is it that you know exactly? Because it can definitely go one way or the other, right?
Yeah, and I think, to your point, I think with artists, it's a little bit more lenient. Like on her first album, one of her big hits, Taste. The hook to it is, if I remember right, basically you're going to taste me while he's kissing you. So
Nice. I like it.
she's a very provocative artist. The old saying, sex sells.
Sure.
And
I agree. Absolutely.
she, I think in her case, she had to know it was going to get some kind of reaction. The lead single off that album is called Man Child. I'm just now realizing I know entirely too much about Sabrina Carpenter, but be that as it may, no, it's I look at it as a brilliant piece of marketing. I think in this case it was a calculated move and got the response she wanted.
Okay. Yeah. Speaking of female musicians, artists, you had mentioned Hayley Williams' album, that the new album of hers, which was "Ego Death of a Bachelorette Party." So she's from Nashville, right? She's from the area, and obviously, bachelorette capital of the world is Nashville. So that's obviously talking about that town. But I did listen to the album last night. I didn't care too much for most of it, to be honest. There was a few I liked, but I don't know if you know anything about her, Matt. But the title track, "Ego Death of a Bachelorette Party," the first chorus is talking about being at a country singer's racist bar, which is a slur diss to Morgan Wallen.
Okay.
Yeah, because obviously he has a big bar in Nashville, I guess, and we all know about his controversy and stuff. I don't even know. Is he racist? I don't know. I mean, yeah, he said the word, but we know how he said the word in context. I don't know. Is it? And also let me ask you this: why is he so fucking popular? Like I listened to some of his songs and I didn't really get it. Like he's like the most popular artist, country artist especially in the world. What am I missing something? Talk to me, Braden. What am I missing?
So back on Miss Williams for a second.
Yep.
One, I didn't know that until you told me that the title track was this, and yeah, that made those lyrics make so much more sense. I'm gonna butcher this, but Mertzapine. That was a track I really liked off of it. Disappearing Man and Discovery Channel.
I like Discovery Channel. I was like, what?
That was cool. She samples a blood. Oh my gosh, I've had a brain fart. The Bloodhound Gang song. What was the name of it?
Or any other time, and I can tell you.
You and me, baby, ain't nothing but mammals.
Yeah, she samples that.
We do it like we do on the Discovery Channel. That's the chorus. Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought that was a fun little track.
It's Bad Touch. My bad.
Yep, Bad Touch.
Bad Touch.
Can't believe it took me that long to find that one.
But Morgan Wallen. So I don't know. It's, I guess, right place, right time. Kind of like Florida Georgia Line, Luke Bryan from about 10, 12 years ago. Bro country. I don't know what you would call.
Yeah, I don't get it. I mean, I thought at first like they were just like, you're not going to cancel him. We're going to show you. But obviously there's more to it because more like he's like had top 10 number one. Everyone in the top 10 was his song.
Yeah.
There for the longest time or some shit. I was like, what is going on with this guy? And I don't really like I'm not saying it's terrible or nothing, but I just don't love it. Like I didn't listen to it and go, well, I see what people are getting from this. Have you listened to any stuff, Matt?
I want to say when I was playing in the country cover band that we played a couple of their songs.
Really?
But I couldn't tell you what they were. maybe one of them we played. It sounds familiar, but no, I couldn't tell you. You know, I think the most recent country I've listened to is I've basically listened to everything Old Crow Medicine Show I could find. I really enjoyed that. Now I'm sure I've heard it. I'm sure I've heard it 20 or 30 times, but I couldn't tell you who it is anymore. I don't.
Yeah.
I've always been the guy who likes to dig into artists and listen to everything they do. So I go down rabbit holes, and sometimes I'll spend 3 or 4 months listening to one band.
Sure. I get it, man. I get it.
My last country venture.
I was trying to think if I had picked up anything new since the last time me and Braden did a podcast, and I don't think I have. So it's been that long. Okay, moving on. Tariffs. Anybody like them? What do you think about tariffs? They say that that the worst is yet to come when it comes to tariffs and stuff. All the stuff is going to really hit stores coming up pretty soon, and then of course anything if you're ordering those people that order stuff from like Temu and Shein and Alibaba and all that stuff going to get a real hit when it comes to that sort of stuff. It's going to really affect the drop shifters, the people that use fulfillment by Amazon and all that. What do you think about all that?
So I'll tell a quick story. I had a conversation at my workplace with a gentleman, and he is a conservative.
Yeah.
And we were talking about it, and I said, okay. I said, I'm in China. You're in America. Yeah. And I was like, so now instead of costing me $1 to sell my product there, now it's going to cost $10. I said, you following me? Yeah. I said, so in America, there's this thing called capitalism. Yeah. So I still want to make money. So I'm going to charge more. And we went back and forth like that and kind of spelled it out. And he's like, well, and he's like, yeah, I mean, some prices are going to go up, but these companies are going to get rich.
the companies
Yeah,
overseas.
yeah. So I'm like, and I just sat there for a second, and I'm like, okay, cool. And then I walked off. I'm like, if that didn't click with you, yeah, it's company. Companies are going to get rich because they're going to charge more, and we're going to have to pay for it. And it's, I don't know, I don't even know what they're for. I heard free trade. I heard that same gentleman was like, yeah, it's all about free trade. That's what the root of it is. And I'm like, well, then why put fucking tariffs in place?
Charging more and free trade doesn't sound like they go together.
I just,
Maybe
it,
not. What do I know?
it's just the most ridiculous shit. Like, I've heard it's about bringing jobs back here, but then I've also heard it's about creating revenue. Well, if you bring jobs back here, you're not going to create that revenue. So,
Well, there's a reason jobs aren't here to begin with.
Yeah,
Because they can't afford to pay American workers.
bingo.
because the prices are too high on everything. It's
Well, I mean, companies are out to make money, so they're going to go to the cheapest, cheapest work that they can get, cheapest labor, and so wherever that is, that's where they're going to go. That's not in America, because in America you can't afford to pay somebody for $2 an hour, or whatever they're paying.
yeah.
It's not going to fly. So you bring them over here, and then they're going to have to pay. Then they're going to have to pay people more, and therefore they will increasingly charge people more anyway.
Even though they're still paying them barely a wage
Right.
to make enough to eat.
Yep.
Yeah, of course. Where's the incentive?
Yeah.
If there was any incentive at all, any trickle down money whatsoever, do you think the public is going to get it? No. But again, where would that even be anyway? I don't know. But anyway, yeah,
those $5,000 Doge checks are coming any day.
Man, I've been looking in the mail every day for that shit, and I have not seen it yet. But I'm looking for it. You know what I mean?
No, it's just.
Hey, sorry, I forgot something. Let's go back to Cracker Barrel for a second. Sorry. They have these biscuits. Let me tell you about it. Let's go back to Cracker Barrel for a second. There's another thing about Cracker Barrel, too. It's not about the logo anymore, but they have apparently an official website. I never knew that they did, but I guess they do. So not only did they buckle and say we're going to keep the name or the logo and our restaurants looking the way they do, but apparently they removed Pride and DEI pages from their website. Did you see that?
I didn't see that. I didn't know. That's because of course they did.
Well, first of all, I didn't even know they had a website other than maybe to order, and I don't know what Pride and DEI is about on their web page. But yeah, that's another thing. It's like I feel like once you get under the spotlight with certain groups in America, you're like you feel pressured to buckle and like sort of bend down and take it. Which is just kind of wild, but yeah, I just wanted to bring that up. Cracker Barrel, they're definitely they're the Lenny Bruce of today. Maybe not. The one thing that got us talking the other day, Braden, was I sent you this thing about Disney, and we talked about Disney constantly on the old podcast because that was I think it's always happening with Disney, but they're always trying to buy more shit and merge things together and control the world. And the thing that they're doing now is they eventually bought all of Hulu and own all of it. And now next year, if you have Hulu, the app, it's going away.
Oh, well.
Yeah. Yeah. Which sucks. My Hulu I get for free. It's combined with my Spotify. And I haven't paid for it in years, really. So I'm like, well, I guarantee I'm not going to get a membership to Disney, for free, So it's just another way for them to say, hey, we're going to take over everything, put all the eyeballs on one. And you remember, Braden, when Disney Plus first dropped, it was like $6.99, I think.
Yep.
How much is that big boy now? It's going up, ain't it?
It's like what, $12-13, something like that.
It's a jump. It's jumped. Yeah. It definitely did. And once I feel like once they rein in all of Hulu, it's probably going to go up even more. Let's face it.
Not just that. I mean, now you've got that ESPN app. The basically the one linchpin of cable has been live events and mainly sports. So
sure.
Disney saying, okay, you can pay $30 a month and get ESPN without cable and get 75 to 90% of all major sports. Okay, so that's a huge blow to cable. And Disney has that power to just say, okay, we can bundle this for, I think right now it's like $30 for all three. I would imagine that's a promo deal, but you get all ESPN, Disney Plus, which has just boatloads of shit on there, Hulu, which kind of fills in all the adult gaps. I mean, kind of sounds like cable, but
it does, yeah.
So, but they have that power to basically reinvent the cable bundle because they own so much shit.
Yeah. That's crazy. Matt?
Oh, I am so disgusted at streaming services. It's like it's crazy to think that you would, even if it is $5 a month for this one, by the time you get the things that you want to watch, you're paying what you were paying for cable before.
Yeah.
Or more. And sometimes more. It's definitely a wild thing. And we've noticed here recently that even and maybe it was me and you, Mike, who talked about this to begin with, is if they just decide they don't want something on there anymore, you're just not going to find it anymore.
It's gone. Yeah. Any original programming that they want to cut for whatever purposes, unless, it's pretty much going to be gone, because most of these things, like Netflix will release occasionally a few things on physical copies, but very rarely. So most of these original programming's just gone. Just you won't see them again. Maybe brought back at a later time. Who knows? But gone. But you know what? We had it made there for a little while. It was such a sweet spot of no ads. Yeah. You had Netflix had no ads. Hulu had a few ads, but they were so minuscule that it didn't really bother you too much.
Or it would drive you nuts because they'd play the same one 3 times.
Well, they would drive. Well, but even then, usually it was like 1 or 2 ads, and then you would see it again down the line. But now it's just like TV. It's just like TV and every one has ads, or you have to pay the higher price for them all. So we're just back to where we were, and I just hate it because we had such a wild west of it for so long, and it was so nice to be able to be steered clear of that stuff. But now they've tried to find a way. We'll see how it goes, because look, when Braden and I were doing the other podcast, there were no streaming services really other than Netflix was the main one, and Hulu and Prime. Those are like the main ones. I mean, and now we've got all these other ones, but we've also got all these other, like if you're going to watch movies and you have to watch them with ads, there's so many freaking free ones, man. Tubi alone. Tubi alone is like, you could get lost in that thing. And yeah, so now we're basically back to the way it used to be, and I'm not liking it. So, I'm sure it won't be constant, because I think people are going to eventually get tired of having to pay so much for like all these different ones, and especially as they keep going up and up, which they obviously are. Eventually, that's going to break too, and then they're going to lose it again. But we'll see. What was you going to say, Braden?
No, it is. It is getting really expensive. Luckily, I mean, right now I'm bumming a couple services, and I get a couple services like through a couple other things. But I mean,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's still just ridiculous. Like you said, we had it kind of in a sweet spot from about 2015 to about 2021. And right around 2021 is when everybody else started popping off with different services. And
well, after COVID, after people got used to it, and with COVID, right, they were like, "Oh well, let's just make this the way that people consume movies and TV," which I mean, people are always obviously doing before, but I think people really started doing it after that because they were forced to.
Yeah.
Which is why we got the kind of movie window now where a movie gets in theaters and then like 2 or 3 weeks down the line, it's already out on digital, and it's up on some platform eventually very soon. Yeah. I got one more thing. Today I watched the movie Stands.
The
You know what
Eminem
I'm talking
documentary.
about? Eminem documentary.
I've not seen it, but I do know what you're talking about.
Yeah, Stands. Pretty good little doc about him and obviously his fans, but mostly about him and kind of where he went with his career. It was pretty good. I do recommend it if you like his music. I mean, is there really any other rapper that you would say is better than him? I mean, I definitely know he's the best white rapper, but I mean, like to me, like he was the one. I guess maybe from where we're coming from in a small town that, in a poor white trash life, was more relatable than most of these other rappers were. What do you think, Matt?
When he came out, it reminded me a lot of my own personality. I would often self-deprecate and make better jokes than the people who were making jokes about me, and then turn around and burn them before I walk away. So it really resonated with me. I think he's been a great writer. I've really enjoyed most everything that I've listened to him and listened to him do. And I guess those first 4 albums I probably listened to at least 100 times a piece. I agree. It was very good.
Yeah, I think Recovery is probably my favorite album. I think that's the one I listen to the most. I love that one. I think it's got some really great tracks on it. You a fan of his, Braden? You like any of his stuff?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's for a while. I mean, I still am big Jay-Z fan, but probably I'm not so sure if I wouldn't put Eminem above him as far as skill. I mean, the lyrical patterns that he takes, like on the song "Stand," or oh my God, I've just had a brain fart. The Way I Am, just the lyrical patterns, how he'll really flow with the beat. Not too many can do it. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, and I mean, I'm just some white dude from Tennessee, but I mean, he's certainly top 5 all time, without a doubt. I mean, Pac and Biggie's up there. But he's got to be on.
Puffy? Did you say Puffy?
No, no Diddy on this show.
If we're going to go like that, the first album I ever owned was Run DMC, Tougher Than Leather, and I still to this day I think I could quote a lot of that album. I listen to that more than anything. Yeah. And I think, Michael, you introduced me to LL Cool J, and there was a lot of that I really enjoyed.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
I
Yeah.
think I still, on occasion, LL Cool J pops up in my rotation when I'm just listening to my random stuff, and instead of turning it, I still.
Yeah. 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 Yeah, man. But yeah, watch that documentary if you get a chance. It's pretty good. Pretty good stuff. We
Yeah.
got. Well, I guess this has been our first episode of Small Town Minds, where we got to meld our mind together. You got anything else before we head out, Matt?
I guess I need to start watching the news and think about things that are current. So next
No.
time we meet, I can actually
Keep
talk
your
about
head in the sand. That's all. You
stuff
don't
from
need to
the
do that.
80s, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Let's talk about Nixon.
Yeah,
Um, uh,
you know. I got the gray in the beard. I might as well just go ahead and start. No, I'm kidding. That's so
well,
wrong.
you know that is the thing too. When you get older, you get more involved in that sort of stuff. When you're young, you don't give a shit about it, which is probably the way everybody should be, honestly. But uh, because because when you get older, you get mad because you know you can't change most of the shit. You know, there's very little you can do to about a lot of it. So it really isn't helpful to know that much about it. I mean, I catch aspects of it, and I have a news app that I kind of scroll through just right before bed, generally speaking. But I don't watch the news 24/7, and it's hard to find an unbiased source anyway. So you have to kind of step back from
Yeah.
anything you're being told and be like, is this real? Is this on side A, side B? Is this in the middle? What is this from exactly? Because you don't ever really know. You know, I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
there's the way that they do clips now, where they can they cut off something and then you don't know what all was said. I'm sure this was always the case in certain aspects of media, but it's so easy to do now. And now we're going forward, and we were talking about AI earlier, and in 10 years from now, AI you're going to see something and it's going to be like, well, I saw it, so it has to be real.
Yeah.
Well,
But
you know,
I saw Matt kill that guy. I've got video of Matt killing that guy
yeah. I
because
mean,
I made the video and I said, make
exactly.
this about Matt killing that guy.
And
So
then,
it's real.
and then next thing I know, I'm being hauled off, and nobody even knows who the guy is. Thanks, Mike.
You're welcome.
But no,
We saw the
I
video. It's
completely get
bloody.
it. I mean, and honestly, you talk about that, and although I don't necessarily venture in that realm, but it does remind me of something that I recall my grandmother talking to me about in the Bible. Where it talks about you can't believe the things that you see and things about that. So that was kind of it never dawned on me before. Thanks for bringing that up right before I go to bed. New nightmares tonight.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I do what I can. I do what I can.
Well, I mean, yeah. I'll try to learn something this week and do that more. If you like documentaries, I would also suggest watching the Pee Wee documentary. I really enjoyed that one.
Yeah.
It's,
Okay. I started it. I haven't finished it, but I did start it. Yeah.
No, I thought that was a very good one. Yeah, I highly suggest that one.
All right. Cool.
Interesting dude,
Cool.
and he was definitely
Yeah.
himself. It's awesome. I like people who are true to their own personality, and he seems to be that guy.
Yeah. Cool.
super
We got big.
quick. If we're saying the stuff we watched recently, the new King of the Hill. Yeah,
Good.
I have not. I have not. Okay.
really good. Really, really
Okay.
good. I think 10
I'm
episodes maybe. Yeah, so
yeah.
not long, but yeah.
Nice, nice. I'm of course loving Dexter's new season, and uh, Peacemaker's back, and I enjoy that show. That show is so much fun.
I've got to catch up on Peacemaker. I've still not watched the entire thing.
Oh yeah, I love it. I love it. It's just so
I
vulgar.
was a fan of the Doom Patrol.
Suicide Squad.
No.
Oh, the Doom Patrol. Oh, the series. Okay.
Yeah, series.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
I was a big fan of that one. So and it kind of feels anti-hero-ish like that,
Mm-hmm.
and I like the way they did that. It was kind of over the top, but not too over the top because it's about a comic book. So
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of like that. It's just James Gunn's humor with complete raunch.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
But very good. All right. You got anything else, Braden?
No, I think we can save some stuff for next time.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good. Well, all right, guys, peace out.
Peace.
Later.
Crackling news on the old truck radio, preacher's voice, then a talk show blowing smoke. Neighbors fighting on the Facebook feed, saying more than they ever would in the street. There's small town static in the air tonight, buzzing like a fly on a neon light. I miss the hush of a front porch swing, back when silence still meant something. Can't hear the crickets for the satellite. There's too much noise in this quiet life. Trying to tune it out, but I can't quite shake this small town static.